woman is found lifeless on her living room couch. No signs of struggle, no forced entry, no witnesses. At first glance, it looks like a tragedy, sudden, unexpected, and heartbreakingly ordinary. But as detectives peel back the layers of her life, a darker possibility emerges. Was this an accident, or the perfect murder, staged to look like one? Behind closed doors, secrets festered, motives hid in plain sight. And the truth, if it ever surfaces, might shock everyone who thought they knew her. Don't miss out on the next chilling mystery. Hit subscribe and tap the bell icon so you're the first to know when new stories drop. On the surface, her life looked ordinary, even enviable. 34-year-old Emily Carter, a young professional with a warm smile and a modest home, seemed to embody stability. Neighbors described her as friendly but private, a woman who waved hello yet never lingered to chat. Inside her quiet suburban house, everything appeared routine. A steady job, a long-term relationship, and evenings spent unwinding on that very couch. But beneath the calm exterior, cracks had begun to form. Friends recall whispered arguments with her boyfriend, subtle shifts in her mood, and an unease she never spoke of openly. Her colleagues noticed the change too. Longer hours at work, unanswered calls, and a distracted look that suggested something was weighing heavily on her mind. The night she was found, nothing seemed out of place. The front door was locked, the windows shut. A half-finished glass of wine sat on the table beside her. To an outsider, it looked like exhaustion had simply overtaken her. But investigators knew better, because sometimes the most ordinary scenes hide the most extraordinary secrets. When detectives stepped deeper into Emily Carter's world, they found that the stillness of her living room was only the beginning of the mystery. There were no signs of forced entry, no broken locks, no missing valuables. But the absence of chaos didn't bring comfort, it raised suspicion. Who other than someone she trusted could have been in that room with her? The first clue came from her phone. Dozens of unanswered text messages from friends sat unread. Yet one conversation stood out. A string of late-night arguments with her boyfriend Daniel, growing more heated in the days leading up to her death. He claimed they were trivial disagreements, but detectives noted how often he appeared in her final digital moments. Then came the strange detail of the wine glass. Fingerprints revealed only Emily's touch. No second glass was found. No trace of anyone else having joined her that night. To some investigators, it suggested she had been alone. To others, it was a carefully staged scene. Autopsy results deepened the puzzle. There were no visible injuries, but toxicology revealed traces of sedatives in her system, enough to impair, not to kill. The question was chilling. Had she taken them willingly, or had someone slipped them into her drink? Even Emily's circle of friends became a web of uncertainty. One recalled her confiding fears of being watched. Another insisted she was preparing to leave Daniel. A revelation that could give him motive. Yet just as suspicion mounted, another twist emerged. Surveillance footage captured Emily on the night of her death, smiling, laughing, and appearing carefree at a local bar just hours before she was found. The contrast was jarring. How could a woman so alive, so present in one moment, end up lifeless on her couch in the next? The evidence offered fragments of truth, but each fragment only sharpened the question. Was Emily's death a tragic accident, or a carefully orchestrated crime designed to look like one? For weeks, suspicion swirled around Daniel. His alibi was shaky, his temper well documented, and the thought of Emily leaving him gave investigators motive. But the truth, when it finally surfaced, wasn't found in his words. It was hidden in silence. A forensic sweep of Emily's laptop uncovered deleted emails, carefully erased but not completely gone. They revealed a troubling secret. Emily had been exchanging messages with a close friend, someone she trusted implicitly. The email spoke of late-night visits, of shared frustrations, and of something more, a closeness that blurred the lines of friendship. That friend, a woman named Claire, had been one of the first to console Daniel after Emily's death. To neighbors, she was simply the supportive friend next door. To investigators, she was suddenly something else, a person with motive, opportunity, and secrets of her own. Phone records placed Claire near Emily's house on the night she died. Even more chilling, surveillance cameras captured her car circling the neighborhood, headlights flickering in the darkness. When confronted, Claire insisted she was only checking in, worried about Emily's fragile state of mind. But the sedatives in Emily's system told a different story. Pills prescribed not to Emily, but to Claire. In that moment, the case cracked open. The narrative of a volatile boyfriend shifted into something far more unsettling: betrayal from a trusted friend. The possibility that Emily's final moments were not shared with an enemy she feared, but with a confidant she trusted, left investigators and everyone who knew her staggered. Because sometimes, the danger doesn't come from the storm outside the door. It comes from the person already sitting on the couch beside you. In the years since Emily Carter's death, the case has lingered like a shadow over everyone it touched. Claire was arrested and charged with manslaughter after investigators connected the sedatives and her presence near Emily's home. She sits now behind prison walls, her days measured not by clocks, but by the weight of silence. Some say she never confessed fully, insisting Emily's death was an accident, that she had only tried to calm her with pills. But the jury wasn't convinced. Daniel, once the prime suspect, never escaped suspicion entirely. Though cleared legally, whispers followed him. He moved from the neighborhood, abandoning the home he once shared with Emily. Those who knew him say he lives quietly, never remarried, never truly free from the shadow of being the boyfriend everyone thought was guilty. And Emily, her memory lives on, frozen in fragments. A grave tended with fresh flowers, neighbors who still recall her smile, and colleagues who sometimes pause at her empty desk in silence. For them, closure remains elusive, because while the courts delivered a verdict, questions linger. Did Claire truly act alone? Were her intentions darker than she admitted? Or was Emily's death a collision of mistakes, mistrust, and hidden longing? The truth may rest only with Emily and the couch where her story ended. Emily Carter's death was ruled and closed in the courts, but closure is something the living rarely find in stories like this. Claire remains in prison, her silence leaving space for endless speculation. Daniel walks free, but his life is marked by a shadow he can never step out of. And Emily, her story is told only in fragments, pieced together through the words of neighbors, the whispers of friends, and the cold reports of investigators. But perhaps the most haunting detail is the ordinariness of it all. A couch, a glass of wine, a quiet night at home. These are not the settings where we expect lives to unravel or trust to shatter. And yet sometimes the most familiar spaces become the stage for our darkest betrayals. What truly happened on that couch may never be fully known. Was it malice hidden behind a mask of friendship, a desperate act gone too far, or a tragic mistake forever misinterpreted? The answers rest with those who can no longer speak, and the silence they leave behind is deafening. Because in the end, what unnerves us most is not just how Emily died, but how easily any of us could slip into the same quiet scene, never knowing if comfort is truly safe. With that said, thanks for watching, and until next time,